Hey y'all, it's Lindsay with the Fiber Seed, and it is WIP Wednesday where I share what I've been working on, which are a couple of things. A lot of swatches, some dyeing, but it's been busy in the garden. So let me share what I've been working on. First up, if you miss it, Tonal Tuesday, which ends tomorrow, is Clearwater. So we brought that back in shop so you get 10% off. Sock DK worsted, full hang sand minis, and if we don't have enough, we dye it, and you get it at the 10% off price. So that's in the shop till the end of day Thursday. Thursday, sneak peek. Throwback Thursday is when we bring an existing colorway back into the shop because we had a new website a couple years ago, and it's been I'm gonna say a fun chore. It's been a chore to get everything back on. So basically on Thursdays, we bring back a colorway that has existed but just wasn't on the website. So this Thursday is actually a rainbow soup colorway. It's Reese's Boston Tea Party. And so it looks like this. So you have sock, DK, and worsted. And we have swatches. Now, I have been, as we've been doing this since I've learned Tunisian crochet, like what, 2 weeks ago, I've been adding a Tunisian swatch to all these existing ones because I had made knitted and crocheted swatches for them all, but I didn't have a Tunisian, so I said perfect opportunity when I'm going to photograph all these things to reintroduce them on the website. Why not make a swatch that's Tunisian crocheted? So we had the Tunisian crocheted Boston Tea Party, the knitted, and then the, I don't want to say regular crochet, but the non-Tunisian crochet. And so it's single, half doubles, and doubles. So it does change a little bit because Reece likes to dye his hanks long, and so the color ones are longer. So I think that it's an interesting difference as to how the Tunisian looks to the regular crochet. So that's how that works out. That's going to be back in the shop tomorrow. And then Friday is another release there of a new color. So Fridays are new colorways. Friday is the release of Americana. So it looks like this in sock, DK, and worsted. This is what it looks like in a cake. And then it looks like this in Tunisian crochet, regular crochet, single crochet, half double, and double. So it looks a little bit different. And then knitted. I think that's really cool how that turned out there for a second. So you have that, and that will be in the shop on sock, DK, and worsted on Friday. So that's all the yarn things I've been working on. Then all the swatch. Oh, and I finally got some more swatches of Honey and Daisy. So I'd done a knitted swatch, more yarn, more swatches. That's a lot of swatches. So here's the knitted one. That one got blocked. So did the crochet one. So you can see there's a little bit, but not much of a difference between the two, but some. And then the Tunisian one, which is not blocked yet, and it's rolling because simple stitch it's kind of like stockinette if you were just doing stockinette straight across and knitting and how it curls in. The simple stitch on Tunisian wants to do that too. But you can see there's just a little bit of an effect difference with the Besprinkled. So the speckles kind of distribute differently, the different ways. I think that's pretty cool. So there's that. And then the longest sleeve pickup in the world. Okay. I sat and reacquainted myself with my Southwood instructions as to where I was and what I needed to do. And I got my Billy and Ba rows and repeats tracker, because it's sticky. Peeled it off, stuck it on my pattern after, and sat there and I figured out how many decrease to how many rounds and how many repeats of that. And I marked it all out here so that you can see what I need to do for Jordans. I didn't use the repeat section. I put it into the ribbing for the amount of rows I would need, or rounds I would need to finish the ribbing. So it's a little check mark system. And what I do is I basically will take a line one direction and then go through with that sleeve and then come back through with the line perpendicular. And that's how I mark the other sleeve. That's how I keep them uniform. But I did that. And this is between, I have family visiting, so it was like between all that. I finally got to picking up the sleeve. And I picked it up. I mean, when I say pick it up, I pick up and knit as I go. So I don't slide my needle in first and then knit around. I just kind of pick it up off of my holder, which is just yarn. You can, there's also cables you can basically pop onto your needle tip and slide it through as a holder. But I've just been using very wildly colored yarn for the longest time. I guess when that ball runs out, I'll use my holders that I've got. But yeah, so I got there and I got around once. And that is it. There's the sleeve. So hopefully by next week, I'll have this sleeve done, because honestly, it's not that many rounds. If you're thinking about like knitting a hat, it's half the amount of stitches of a hat that I've been working on, like Jordan's Dapper hat. It's not as many stitches, and it's not changing up the patterning. It's stockinette, so it should go by quickly. The yarn I'm using is Sprout Worsted on Bering Sea. I did alternate balls. I'm not going to for the sleeves. I put aside a ball of yarn for the sleeves so that I can just go. And that's that. Hopefully I don't need it for both sleeves. Otherwise, I might alternate balls. I don't know. I think I'm going to weigh it and figure it out, because I think I only needed the one ball I had left. And I have some leftovers from the other two that I alternated in the body. We shall see, though. Anyway, that's all I can't say that. That's all I've worked on. Like it's more than some weeks where I had only worked on like a row, and even one stitch is progress. So taking that moment to work on something and just like breathe and refocus your mind, it's worth it. So yeah, I got a row done in knitting and a bunch of, and I'm going to call them mindless. Swatches now have become mindless. Knitting, crochet, even at Tunisian crochet, I know I just learned how to do it. I mean, I've done the other stuff for so long that it was, I got into that quickly, but it's very relaxing because you build and then you resolve. It's really great. If you haven't tried Tunisian crochet, I would. If you knit and you're like, crochet, try Tunisian crochet. It might be a good, if you can make a chain, you can Tunisian crochet. Again, the Tunisian Crochet Handbook by Toni Lipsey. Just get it. It's good. I like books. I mean, you can't see them because they're all over here behind me and all that stuff, but I like books. Always have. Super helpful, and Toni does a really good job. Just saying. So that's what I've been working on this week. Hopefully I'll have more than just swatches. I'll have some more swatches because there's going to be more new yarn. We'll have the summer colorway coming up. I think it's a super fun one, and it's bright. We've been all over the color chart here recently, so it's going to be bright and exciting, and I love it, and I can't wait to share it with you. So until next time, though, happy crafting.